Mars in Aries right now during this week, and Saturn was in Aries, so they were flipped. We'll call it a mutual reception, but that's not what it is. But it was a shift over. Okay. Now, how interesting to see in our chart now, Jupiter there and Mars here and Saturn there and Uranus in the same zone. Now, just stay with me for one sec. I did 1938. Uranus at 15. Well, we're at 16 now. Remember, there's no retrogrades in here. We are literally sitting, and here's Pluto at the end of Cancer, and where are we at now? Pluto at 27. You know, we're not fully, so we're in a weird in-between. We're in a weird in-between of 1938, 1939. And you need to start thinking about all these things that you're focusing on in your life based upon that. You know what? I'm not going to do the research for you. Go look up World War II and go look up the timeline and go have fun with the in-between from September of 38 to September of 39. And ask yourself, if you were in that scenario and in that fucking reality, the choices that you're choosing to make right now that you think are so smart, are they really as smart and really as logical as what you would do then, knowing what went down? As astrologers, our horoscopes are here to help you understand what's coming up using history and using the understanding of where we're at. And you're not going to get astrology from anywhere else that's going to use the HELIO with you. And combine that with what? Oh, I came through. So here's 1938. Uranus had just retrograded. I did that fucking on a horoscope this week and showed people, but happened exactly fucking within a degree with a node. 3 degrees apart, same shit. This is when Hitler fucking was doing military exercises, showing his great fucking military. Jews started wearing stars. And read the writing on the wall of where we're at right now in the world. Then in 39, we'll be here with the node at 0 as we come into next year. And Uranus will be retrograded in the last part, in last decan. And this is when the world went to hell in a handbasket. And Jupiter was at 6 Aries, where it's at this week. So we're in like both at the same time and figuring out where it's all going to happen. Be smart. Not because of what you think in your ego. With Mars especially, that's definitely lost ego-wise, about to retrograde in Gemini, which it hasn't done since 1943 and 44. In that 3-month cycle, that was at the end of 43 into the beginning of 44. First time. Almost 100 years, but 80 years later. 79 to be exact, but, start thinking smart like that. As astrologers, how it's like, is this the best for the reality and the way it's going? And look at all the markers. That's why we do shows like Full Disclosure. Like the show that Natalie and I did right before this Deep Astrology. I think you should really look at the stuff that was said about then and start looking at the history yourself and start understanding of why I said the things that I said and why Natalie says things that she says, because we're at a place where it is fucking gnarly. Instead of you being caught up in the illusionary fucking reality that you're creating right now, that's like, still thinking it's just going to be the normal reality coming back like it was prior to 2020, prior to 2012, we are in an evolutionary cycle and it's just coming down in a crazy way. Or watch the show that I did with Dylan this week where he showed an amazing picture, but it's a world where a person's meditating and there's volcanoes going off and there's fucking fires in the skies and there's fucking crazy shit. So are you making your choices right now based upon the false reality that's being projected? Like, don't worry about it, as they already know what's coming and we know as astrologers what's coming and we know that are tapped in, that are willing to look at it. Being an astrologer is a task where you have to be hermetic. where I don't let my emotion get involved. And I don't allow the programming of the world. And I don't allow my feelings of what's going to happen if a dog dies, if a human dies, if the earth dies, if the whole universe gets exploded. I will look at it and I will not fucking make my judgments based off my emotional fucking, oh God, I don't want that to happen, because then I'm not actually doing astrology. And that's all I ask for you as an astrologer, is do the research yourself from September of 39 or 38 through 39. Place yourself in that reality. And if you want to think that you're so smart and you have it figured out, put yourself in there and ask yourself if the choices and the things you're so focused on and the ideas and the reality that you think it needs to be, if that will work in that reality, and move that reality into today's time and see if it makes sense at all. I appreciate you all so much. I'll see you in the next Deep Astrology.